Oh yeah, that's a pretty good fish.
No, I
Kentucky.
just got him hooked in
You
the
got him
side.
hooked in the top of the head. Now he bit the bait though. He's got one hook in his mouth. Well, that's a funny way to catch a fish.
Well,
Chris and I are fishing on Table Rock Lake today in Missouri. Last year, about this time, some of you might remember, we went over to Lake Dardanelle in Arkansas to do a little fishing right before Chris had a bass and gal tournament. And we did a show on it, and I caught all the fish. But Chris won that tournament. So this year, it's April, water temperature's in the mid-50s. We thought we'd try the same thing. Maybe she could win here at Table Rock. And of course, Table Rock, as you can see, is an entirely different lake from Dardanelle. We're fishing down a steep bluff that it's not a drop-off, it's not a real sheer bluff, but it goes off very, very steeply. We're sitting out here in about 25 foot of water right now, even though we're right on the bank, and we're basically paralleling the bank is what we're doing. I'll show you the bait that Chris caught that thing on in here in a minute. She caught it on a deep diving redfin. It had a real long bill, and she'll show you the way she's working that thing.
She doesn't know how to work it very well. She's just learning.
I think it's only about the second fish she's ever caught in her life on it, but that's a hot bait down here. There he is. Oh, he's about my normal size. Pretty good fish. Boy, he's pretty in that clear water, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Look at that rascal down there. That's a largemouth there. Come here, little fella.
Looks like he needs to eat a little more often than he's been
Yeah,
doing.
he's a little skinny. He's been eating, though, I'll tell you. Look there, somebody's caught him before and turned him loose. Mine's bigger than yours, Mama.
Mine's a little Kentucky.
Y'all take a look at that bait Chris is using there. That little small Kentucky bass. You can see it's just a regular redfin with a big, long, deep bill on the front of it, which makes it dive down deep, just like a deep diving crankbait. Soon as I'm gonna go ahead and keep fishing there, if you don't mind. I got my.
Well,
Since I got mine turned back, I'll go ahead
I
and
think
fish.
you might have to help me out just a little bit.
Here, I got some pliers. It's just for you. Pink. Here. Reach down there and grab hold
Well,
of
he's not even hooked. It's just sort of.
Oh, well, how'd you catch him if he's not even hooked?
I don't know.
What'd he do? Just hold on to that thing for you till you got him in there?
Got so many hooks here that.
That's good. Should never miss one on that thing. I can't understand how I ever miss a fish anyway. Every bait I fish got hooks on it. How are you working that bait, Chris?
I'm just throwing it out there and getting it down, and then I'm just stopping it and jerking it.
Down at Rayburn, I was working it like a worm, but you're really not working it that way. You're getting it down, kind of jerking it hard and stopping it. When are the fish hitting it?
On the stop.
Every one of them been on the stop?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Every one of them.
Of course, I'm not stopping this thing very much, but every one that I've caught on this has been on the wind. But that's an entirely different bait than this little crawdad. Uh-oh, there he is right there.
Barely.
What do you mean barely? It's a good fish. It's about a 4-pounder. I just didn't want to get my hands all fishy, you know. That's the reason I went ahead and let him go like that.
It wasn't much bigger than my worker bill here.
Huh? Well, it was too. That's a good fish. What are you talking about? Y'all see how close we are into the bank. Those fish are laying right in on the bank in this real steep drop off here. You got one?
Got the tree.
Are you hung up again? You got to get in real close to the bank and parallel it, because if you're standing out here and throwing into it, it just won't do you much good, because your bait is in a potential fish catching area such a short period of time. And naturally, when it's like that, like Christine's bait hanging on that tree is not in a very good potential fish catching area.
I beg to differ. That's where he should have been, was right there underneath.
Should have got it before it got hung up, huh?
That's right. That's what I thought had happened.
Here, don't be getting that thing around my bank. You can see we're right in on the bank. I mean, we're right parallel. The ideal thing really would be if I could get her back in the back of the boat. I could catch them all. Unfortunately, she's smarter than that.
I learned your tricks a long time ago.
Well, you did, huh? It's your old... My crawdad to eat that thing you got on there if you get it around my back, girl.
You're gonna have to start casting either one lane in or one lane out.
Yes, what are you doing?
You're like some of these people who drive down the middle.
How are you working then?
You're like these people who drive down the middle of the highway.
Oh, catch them on both
I
sides.
know what you need to either give me the inside alley or the outside.
I want you catching them all.
You want to know how I was working this?
Yeah.
I just cranked it for all I was worth.
That's what I thought you were doing. That ain't the way to do it.
Well, I get carried away sometimes. That big fish that just got away, kind of.
That was a nice one. It really was. It was a nice fish.
Hit that point a little more.
Another little point right up here in front of us. We'll just wait and hit that.
He was just looking. He wasn't serious about the whole
Well, he
thing.
wasn't real. What do you do? Just look at it and you caught him? Boy, there is a big Kentucky population. A 15-inch minimum on this lake. So all these fish we're catching, these 12 and 13 inches, don't do. Christine, quit that. You big
I've been
dummy.
waiting for years to do that.
You big dummy. When you're fishing real clear water like this, have you got another?
I will have in just a minute.
Oh. When you're fishing real clear water like this, whether it's in the springtime or whatever, but particularly in the springtime, when the fish are coming up but they're still laying down fairly deep, line size and line color is vitally important. We're using light line, 8-pound test, and we're using either clear or low visibility green. We've got, I guess, all the reels except one with the low visibility green on it. Don't use high visibility in this clear water. You'll just get way less bites on high visibility line. And of course, light line will get those baits down deep. That wicker bill there that Chris is throwing, she needs it down deep. This little crawdad that I'm throwing, you need to get it down deep. The deeper you can get it, the more chance you got of catching fish this time of the year.
There's one.
Come out from under the end of that boat dock, didn't
Yeah.
you?
I hope I don't get him in the prop.
Let me trim the motor up.
No, I got him.
You got him out?
Yeah.
Is that gonna be a keeper?
I don't know.
Probably be just like all the rest.
Probably.
We ain't caught a keeper all day long. I don't know why we'd catch
Oh,
one.
he is a keeper.
Fish, babe. Come here, baby.
How about that?
All right. The sun is about to go below the bridge, and we finally got us a keeper fish.
They will hit it with that moss on it, won't they?
Oh, he probably got down in the moss. That's about a
about
nice
that?
3.5-pound chunk. Y'all can see how dark it's getting. The sun is setting over the top of the bridge right there.
Give me my bait.
And that big fish just come up and just swallowed that spinnerbait. We've been fishing all day long. We've probably caught total 40, 50 fish together. Caught them on that little crawdad colored crankbait and that deep diving redfin. And of course, along about 2 o'clock, I put the big Houston model Magnum on, and we caught a bunch of fish on it. And that's the best one we caught.
Well, you picked him up out of the
Well,
water.
honey,
Huh?
in that tournament 2 weeks from now, if you catch you 5 of those every day, you'll be in hog heaven. Look at the belly on that fish. As Alton Jones would say, look at there, Jimmy. He said that and built like a football. Go back there, baby. Oh, yeah. Fun day.
You could just make time freeze at this time.
About this time of day, this makes time stand still for about 3 hours. You could really- Come out of that tree and grab that thing. Not very big, that was a pretty strike. He just come out of there sort of in slow motion and got it, you know.
Like we're supposed to.
Yeah, just like you're supposed to. They're pretty, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Even when they're little, they're pretty. Back in there, baby. Grow up and I'll come back and catch you again someday. In fact, I might even let Chris catch you someday. Chris and I are fishing today down on Sam Rayburn Lake in Texas, one of the finest bass fishing lakes in the country.
We're here in late February, and it's a beautiful February day, though. It's supposed to get up to 70 degrees today, and we might get a little wind before the day's over, but it's just a fantastic day. And the fishing's been tough. It's been slow down here, but we ought to be able to catch a few fish on spinner baits. We might throw worms or crankbaits, or I don't know what all we're going to throw today, but we ought to be able to catch a few fish, hopefully. What do you think, honey? Think we can catch some?
I sure hope so.
We can catch one anyway, can't we? I know that for a fact. Chris caught a 58-pound flathead down here fishing last year, but that was in June, so I don't think that's going to happen now. We might catch a 58-pound black bass. I'm ready. Yeah, little baby. That's not too big there, honey.
And the little guy running around.
Yeah, he's up there looking around trying to, little male bass up there looking around trying to. That one's too small down here. They got to be 14 inches long here on Sam Rayburn. We'll probably be throwing lots of different kind of baits today. I caught that fish on a 3/8 ounce spinner bait with a little sheepskin trailer back behind it. And that fish is not quite 14 inches long. He's real close to it. We'll probably be throwing jigs and maybe some spots and some long A's and I don't know what all today. Water's a little bit too cold for worms. Oh. He says, let me back in that water. I don't like it out there in the air. But I don't know what all we'll catch him on. I just hope we catch him, don't you?
I do too.
Wasn't it a beautiful day for February? Wow. I had that right up on top, honey. He come out of that laying down log right there. That water's got to warm about 6 or 7 or 8 degrees up here this afternoon in this shallow water, and when it does, I bet we catch quite a few on spinnerbait. I hope. Ought to be one in that log there too if there's one in that other log.
You got one.
I heard him hit that thing. Act like a pretty decent fish where he hit. No, he's about like those I've been catching. Maybe not quite as big as those I've been getting.
I think he's bigger.
He's not as big as those I've been getting.
I think he's the biggest one of the day.
Oh, come on now. Get off of that. I've had several just like that, maybe some bigger.
I don't think so.
He hit that up on top, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I was about half asleep.
Half asleep. This is a skill game, isn't it, this bass fishing? Real skill deal. What you're saying is you were very lucky you caught that fish, right?
Well, he's hooked totally on the outside of the mouth, so.
Don't matter which side of the mouth he's hooked on, as long as you got him. You hooked him good, though, didn't you?
He wasn't going to get away.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's beautiful. You know, honey, the 14-inch limit on this lake has really made a difference in, you know, having good numbers of fish in there. That's a male fish there. See how skinny he is? He's like me, instead of like you.
You're really trying to make friends, aren't you?
He's a skinny rascal, boy, I tell you. Oh, I mean, he's a skinny rascal.
He was hungry.
Yes, he was. I heard him get the bait. Sounded to me like he got it real good. I'm ready for one to get mine real good. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Did you see that, honey? Yeah, he's not real big, but he hit behind that doggone log.
Just a good strike, wasn't it?
It was a pretty strike. I still don't have him caught. He hit over behind that log. And come up here, baby. I thought he missed it. Shut the trolling motor off, Jimmy. I thought he missed that bait, but he got it good. Ooh, and that's 14-inch fish.
I don't know.
Honey, that fish is 15 inches long. What do you mean you don't know?
I don't think he's even 14.
Look at there where I scraped him up on that, see that?
Uh-huh.
That's where he was scraped up on that log. He'd go down and show his buddies that. He'd say, look at that. He said, I grabbed old Jimmy Houston's spinner bait and I like tore that log up on there. And you know what he'll tell them then? He'll say, he sure is a nice guy. He let me go. Honey, I think I'm gonna try that lizard up here in some of these ends.
Might work.
It's got good and calm now. It's the right kind of condition for it, I think, don't you?
Mm-hmm, I do too.
Let's see if I can get one to jump up there and swallow that thing. These ends are just perfect for it anyhow. Oh, there he is. Get that now from under that tree.
Big one?
Pretty nice.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Come up and eat that lizard up, boy. You hear him get down underneath that tree?
You got him caught?
You're in a boat with me, boy. Yeah. That's a big old male right there. See how skinny he is? No eggs at all. That's a male fish. Boy, that was pretty the way he came out and got that, honey. Look how long he is.
Mm-hmm, that's a nice fish.
Long and lean, just like me. Let me show you just exactly how you got to rig this bait in order to make it walk like I was doing right there. Okay, you really rig this thing just regular Texas style. Just go ahead and come through here. Now here's the difference. You pull that hook all the way through, bend that line down where the line's inside like that, then come back and stick that in. Now that's what you're ending up with. The line is completely out, this head is loose. That allows that lizard to walk back and forth. They can't stand it. They just have to jump out there and try it. And the only problem is you miss a lot of them. But you also have a lot of them that just run out there and swallow that dude. Like that one did. Whew, I love it. I wonder if he's got a buddy over there to do that again. Oh, there he is. I got him. Laying right on top of the water, and I throw that lizard out there and he eat it up. Isn't that something?
That's lucky.
Lucky? Lucky? What are you talking about, lucky? Oh, we've had a good day on old Sam Rayburn today, I guarantee you. Anytime that you get a day like this in February where the wind calms down and it gets just as beautiful as it's done this afternoon, God's smiling on you, I guarantee you. And anytime you see a bass laying up on top of a tree like that, you throw a lizard in there and you catch him, he's really smiling big time. We didn't get any big fish. We caught a lot of nice fish. There's not anything wrong with those kind of fish right there. That's a pretty fish, you know, it's a keeper fish, and just a lot of fun. Those big fish are just not in these tail ends yet. Caught them on spinner baits, caught them on stick baits, and then late this evening on this bait right here. Probably, if you want to come to Lake Sam Rayburn, probably your very best time is in the month of February or March. February and March. Good fishing, good day on Sam Rayburn.